This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Holding my hand's a letter from Matt Gaetz, Bob Good, Nancy Mace, Matt Rosendale, Eli Crane, Tim Burchett, Ken Buck, and Andy Biggs. Radicals in the Republican Party. Radicals in an already radical Republican Party. This is about electing Jim Jordan Speaker. And it is bizarre, the level of rancor, as they put it in this letter, that has arisen surrounding this issue. The chaos that has ensued, the chaos that has been promoted and the House plunged into at the behest of the Republican Party, with all of the blaming of Democrats, which is just so stupid that Democrats have led us here. That is just nonsense. When the motion to vacate was brought by a Republican, voted on by Republicans. Here's the letter. Dear colleague, the recent passage of the motion to vacate the Speaker has caused rancor, hurt feelings, and acrimony in the House Republican Conference. While we stand by our actions, it is our goal to proceed forward with our colleagues, our teammates, our fellow Republicans in a manner that embraces reconciliation. It has been suggested the conference cannot move forward until there are consequences for each of us. While we violated no rule of either the House or Republican conference, we understand some of the conference wish to punish us. Is there nothing that these idiots won't try to make themselves martyrs about? It seems to be the go-to move for these people is to hang themselves upon a cross and act like they are a victim. The actions we took were never about us. They were to change Washington for the better. The House now needs a speaker, and we have a speaker designate in Jim Jordan of Ohio. Therefore, if the holdouts who refuse to vote for Speaker-designate Jordan would be willing to vote with the team, quote unquote, and elect him the 56th House Speaker, we are prepared to accept censure, suspension, or removal from the conference to accomplish this objective. We remain proud members of the Republican Party as nominated by our respective districts. What unites us as Republicans is more important than our disagreements. We must now come together to elect Jim Jordan. We offer this sincerely and with the hope of unity with purpose. Our fidelity to Republican virtues and principles remains unwavering. They're offering something that will not be delivered. They know they're not going to be censured. They know they're not going to be suspended. They know they're not going to be removed from the Republican conference. This is nonsense. It is a way to signal to the base that they are morally standing on solid, rock-solid ground, that they're doing this for the principles of it and not for their own careers and to get themselves clicks and clout on Twitter and where else. It's a signal to the base. Because they don't care about leadership. They don't care about fidelity. They don't care about any ideological principles other than self-preservation and self-promotion. These people are the worst of an already terrible Republican Party. Nominating one of the worst in the Congress, one of the very worst, one of the least capable, one of the least putting anything on the table that represents what a congressman does for a living, what he's paid to do, which is legislate, pass bills, write bills, make laws. Jim Jordan hasn't passed a single bill in 16 years, 8 terms in Congress, 8, and not a single bill. And yet here they are, we're willing to sacrifice everything if all you'll do is become a member of the team. While death threats are being leveled at the families of members of Congress. Not even just themselves, but their spouses are getting calls threatening them. But this is a principled stand. for unity and purpose. Gross, stupid, and the business of the American, listen, it's one thing that the business of the House cannot be conducted without a speaker. It's one thing. But it's a whole thing entirely that the business of the country cannot continue. The House is a critical body of government in our country. All bills that deal with appropriating money originate in the House of Representatives. And none of that can be done. We cannot fund our allies who are in wars. We cannot fund our own government without a speaker. Our military here in a few days, a month or so, when the continuing resolution ends, is going to need to get paid. The government is going to need to be funded, and we need a speaker for that. So again, when Matt Gaetz had Kevin McCarthy removed, what was the plan? There was no plan. The plan was to stand in front of a bank of cameras and get a bunch of attention on the steps of the United States Capitol while having nothing. It's a lot like Donald Trump, their golden god, their demigod, their dear leader. Remember, we're gonna repeal and replace Obamacare. But they never had a replacement. They never had something they were going to replace it with. Because there is no planning. Everything is for optics. Everything is to own the libs. Because they're not in it for governing. They're not in it for taking care of making your life better. They're not in it to do their job and earn their hefty paycheck. That's not what they're in it for. They're in it to boost Donald Trump. They're in it to kiss ass of Donald Trump. And they're in it to ingratiate themselves with attention and media coverage. That is it. And this is just subterfuge. This is just a distraction. This is just virtue signaling to their base, which has no virtues of any decency whatsoever. What do you think? I'd love to know. I invite your contribution to this conversation. You can mix it up in the comments below. That would be great. You can call and leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. If I do something for you that you think is valuable, please consider supporting my work right here on this platform. You can click the join button below this video, become a channel member for $2 a month, hit the super thanks button. You can buy some merch. Make sure you're subscribed, like, comment, share, blah, 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 do all the things. Or even more importantly, better, you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast and help support the work there. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, all of them at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there, and I will see you next time. There certainly will be a next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.